From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, Senate confirms 7 ministerial nominees sent to it by President Muhammadu Buhari. Abductors of Zamfara medical director demand 20 million naira ransom as bandits shoot victim in captivity. Bread price hike in Jos, pushing some to the extreme. On the foreign scene, landslides cut off villages in Austria as rescuers struggle to provide aid. Hello and welcome to NewsHour on Trust TV. I am Mayinde Shuaga. We apologize for a little bit coming to you late due to technical concerns. The Nigerian Senate on Wednesday screened and confirmed 7 ministerial nominees sent to it by President Muhammadu Buhari. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports that 5 of nominees were scrutinized by the upper legislative chamber, while 2 others who are former lawmakers were told to take a bow and go, in line with the age-long practice of according them such concession. The report.
President Muhammadu Buhari had, in line with Section 47, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution, sent a letter to the Senate containing the names of Iko Eri Ikechukwu, Abia, Umana Okon Umana, Akwa Ibom, Ikoma Nkama Joseph Nkama, Ibonyi, Goodluck Nana Opia, Imo, Omar Ibrahim Eliakub, Kano, Ademola Adeole Adegoroe, Ondo, and Udomude from Rivers as ministerial nominees to fill existing vacant positions in his cabinet.
Senator Rochas Okrocha meant well. I think that he wanted to also add his voice to the support of my nomination. Seriously speaking, I've had a series of telephone conversations with him before today, and there is no indication that he was going to oppose my nomination.
That would key into the agenda of this government and to ensure that on day one, God willing, if confirmed by the Senate, we hit the ground running, delivering on services to the Nigerian people to actualize the Nigerian dream.
The Senate, as part of its oversight function, subjects the nominees to a routine scrutiny to determine their suitability in terms of competence and character. The Red Chamber thereafter confirms their nominations through the Committee of the Whole. The confirmed ministerial nominees are expected to fill the vacant positions left by the immediate past ministers on presidential expedition at the last APC primary, amongst others. 7 presidential nominees for the ministerial appointments into the cabinet of President Muhammadu Buhari just went through, the rigors of explaining themselves or unveiling themselves to the National Assembly and to Nigerians with regards to the portfolios that they are going to be given by the present administration. It is a routine exercise by the Senate to interrogate and of course get certain clarifications and explanations from nominees like this. 5 of them had to go through the rigors of answering questions and of course clarifying issues to the Senate, while 2 happened to be ex-lawmakers, and they had the privilege of taking the bow and go, as it is synonymous with the National Assembly when it comes to screening exercise. From the National Assembly here in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News.
The Nigerian Senate is sending a delegation to the United Kingdom on a solidarity visit to the embattled former Deputy President of the Senate, Ike Ekweremadu, and his wife, Beatrice. Senate President Ahmad Lawan made the announcement on Wednesday's plenary after a closed-door session. According to the Senate President, the lawmakers drawn from the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs are expected to be in the United Kingdom on Friday. Lawan also commended the British High Commission for the way the alleged organ harvesting suit is being handled so far.
be a delegation to London to see distinguished Senator Ike Ikweremadu and his wife, a delegation from the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs of the Senate will leave in the next 2 days to London for that purpose. I want to urge all federal government institutions that can do anything to ensure that justice prevails in this case, that they do so. Particularly the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is very, very critical and important that the government institutions provide those services that are required. As for the Nigerian High Commission, we can ask for more, but they have done us proud.
The All Progressives Congress, APC Northwest Zone, says the party must strategize on how to get massive votes in the Northwest to enable it win the presidential election in 2023. National Vice Chairman of APC Northwest, Salihu Lukman, at a press briefing in Kaduna said the party's chances of winning the presidential election would be shaky if it fails to secure massive votes in the region. He added that the only way to do that is to mobilize people to register and get their permanent voter cards.
I can go further to make the point that APC is only able to win the presidential election because it has a mass support base in the Northwest. Any day it loses that, its capacity to retain the presidency will be shaky. Any party that can produce the presidency must have the mass support of Northwest. Go and check again the results of PDP in 1999, the result of PDP in 2003, of course 2007, even when they over-rig, you will see that the rigging in the Northwest is more massive than any other region. So the reality is that Northwest is almost the heartbeat of politics in Nigeria. If you don't win the Northwest, you are not likely going to produce the presidency.
Deputy National Chairman of the National Rescue Movement, NRM, Abubakar Halilu Jikamshi, has resigned. At a press briefing announcing his official resignation from the NRM, Jikamshi, who said he is a founding member of the party, expressed regret that the party has become undemocratic. The party chieftain, who noted that majority of the party's National Working Committee members are from the same zone, described the move as an unhealthy one in a democratic state. Jikamshi, who is yet to identify with the new political party, called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to fish out smaller parties that exist for pecuniary reasons with a view to deregistering them.
Reduce both the chairman of the party and its presidential candidates from the same southeast zone, which automatically portrays the party as undemocratic. We have 6 zones in this country, and only one zone is in charge of the party. My resolve to quit the party and the post of deputy national chairman was motivated by the glaring lack of democracy in the party. Majority of the National Working Committee members are from the same zone. There must have been some motives. If the party is hijacked and mortgaged, maybe to be used as money-making venture or whatever. I want to call on INEC to put such light on such small parties that are there as means of political prostration and proscribe them as they don't add any value to the polity of the nation. Before I close, let me categorically inform you that most of the national officers from the northern zones have left the party or are about to, and we are making consultation on the next line of action. We shall inform you as appropriate. By this address, I am confirming to you that I am neither a card-carrying member nor official of National Rescue Movement.
Chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, Zamfara State Branch, Dr. Manir Baturi says abductors of the Medical Director, General Hospital, Dansadao, Dr. Mansour Muhammad, have demanded 20 million naira as ransom for the release of the CMD. The NMA chairman disclosed this in an interview with Trust TV News in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, following the abduction of one of their colleagues, Dr. Mansour Muhammad, last Saturday at Mashaya village along Dansadao Magami Road. The report.
The chairman of the Zamfara State branch of the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, Dr. Manir Baturi, claimed that the security forces have not taken the fight to the bandits' enclaves. He revealed that the abductors of the medical director of the General Hospital, Dansadao, in Maru local government area of the state, who had contacted the family of the victim to demand 20 million naira as ransom, have now reduced the amount to 5 million naira. Dr. Baturi disclosed that the leadership of the association is still working with relevant authorities to ensure the safe release of the victim. He observed that the bandits had sometime last year attacked the General Hospital Dansadao and abducted 2 health personnel after a futile effort to abduct the medical director, Dr. Mansour Muhammad, in the facility. The NMA chairman, however, said he believes the bandits have been targeting the CMD for a while now, until last Saturday when they succeeded in abducting him to an unknown location.
Yes, about 2 days ago, they contacted the family and, of course, informed them that he's with them and he's healthy. And, of course, demand the ransom payment of 20 million naira. And but as at yesterday, they have reduced the ransom to 5 million naira. So we are still talking to them and negotiating with them to see how they can be able to reduce the ransom to a reasonable level.
He wants the security agencies and other relevant stakeholders to form a more formidable synergy among themselves to enable them win the ongoing war against bandits and eliminate the menace of banditry.
The security agencies that are supposed to be protecting people are actually not living up to their responsibility. So one is left with no option and to look for ways to protect himself. So we welcome this initiative by the state government, of course, to calling on people to arm and protect themselves, because we believe it's a step forward.
Baturi called on the 3 tiers of government to come up with strategies to nip in the bud the current upsurge of security challenges in Zamfara State in particular and the country in general.
One of the recently released victims of the Kaduna-Abuja train attack that spent over 70 days in captivity has commenced a one-man protest with the aim of drawing government's attention to the need to dedicate more resources to effect the release of other passengers that are still in captivity. The woman, Maimuna, real name withheld, who said her husband has been in captivity for over 89 days in Kaduna Forest with the terrorists, added that she's among the recently released 10 victims. According to her, there is need for government to intensify efforts towards dialoguing with the terrorists in order to find ways of releasing the remaining 50 passengers that are still in captivity. Maimuna admitted that there are still children and an aged woman in captivity facing untold hardship in the hands of the terrorists and urged the government and other stakeholders to help secure the release of the rest of the abductees. In the wake of incessant killings, rustling of animals and abduction of people for ransom in Katsina State, the Commissioner of Police, Idris Dauda Daban, has met with stakeholders. The meeting with stakeholders from insecurity-prone local government areas held behind closed doors, after which the Commissioner briefed journalists. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
Is to make sure we improve the security of the states, especially in some frontline local governments. Specifically, we called 3 local government stakeholders and we held security meeting. We discussed on the way forward. We were aware of the problem, and they told us they are onboarding their mind, and we discussed and resolve on what to do.
The police commissioner also has these assurances for the numerous farming communities of Katsina State.
The security measure we discussed now, once we achieve our objective, I think everybody will smile. Police and other security agencies. And they should also maybe give information on the crime and criminals within the society. We talked about informants, and like we told them that they are within their environments, so they should try to expose them.
Meanwhile, the police authorities in Katsina State has presented a commendation letter to Constable Noura Mande for outstanding display of honesty and patriotism. Noura Mande was on special duty at Hajj Camp, Katsina, when he found $800 equivalent to 480,000 naira and returned it to its owner, Hadiza Usman, an intending pilgrim from Kusada local government. I returned the money to its original owner, and the reason is simple. To me, $800 is nothing. It's a money, even if well spent, cannot solve all my problems. Secondly, the money does not belong to me. As such, if I spend it, I must refund it where there is no money. That is on the day of reckoning. I will not want that to happen to me. Indeed, the type of Constable Noura Mande are much needed in both public and private sectors, especially in the current quest to remove the country out of the woods. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
What a good example. Traditional rulers in Osun State have called on all Nigerians to be patriotic while commenting on security matters and to always motivate serving and retired security men rather than running them down unfairly. The Olowu of Kuta, who is also the chairman of the Council of Owu Obas and Chiefs, Oba Hamid Adekunle Makama, made these indications during a press conference on behalf of other traditional rulers. Hamid Oyegbade filed in this report as presented in our studio.
The spate of insecurity in Nigeria has caught the attention of many citizens in the country. The traditional rulers are not oblivious of the situation, calling on federal government to provide adequate funds to security agencies to enable them function efficiently. Oba Ahmed Adekunle Makama, Oluwo of Kuta in Osun State, said the Nigerian army has the capability to defeat bandits if properly funded.
Battle ready. Yes, they are battle ready. Highly mobile and battle ready army. But we have saboteur, like people that does not see success in what people like Ambassador Burates are doing. We have saboteur, fifth columnists. God will fish them out and they will be shamed. Nigerian military is still battle ready. They are just being overstretched, deploying virtually all the 36 states of the Federation for internal security. They are even overstretched.
Adekunle Makama, who is also chairman of Council of Owu Obas and Chiefs, said appreciating the sacrifice made by retired military men will serve as encouragement to those on the battlefield to give them the best.
My clarion call of support has been a sustained advocacy of support for Nigerian military because our country is going through so much and they are giving all they have day and night to keep the nation whole. So we should endeavor to support them, give them all the necessary moral backing because they have what it takes. There is a proverb that says a dog that has somebody at the back can kill a lion.
The traditional rulers offered special prayers for serving and retired military men and all security operatives in the country and called on Nigerians to shun negative comments against security men.
The House of Representatives on Wednesday set up 2 ad hoc committees to address noticeable lapses in government operations. The committees were inaugurated during plenary. The report.
One of the committees is to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime from 2017 to 2021 and report back to the House within 8 weeks for further legislative action. The resolution of the House followed a motion on the need to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime in Nigeria from 2017 to 2021, brought by Honorable Sergius Ose Ogun from Edo State. The House also inaugurated an ad hoc committee to investigate duplication of functions by most government ministries, departments, and agencies. The move, according to the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, is to reduce the cost of running the government and promote efficiency. The bill to investigate the lacuna in government was introduced to the floor at plenary by the Chief Whip of the House, Muhammad Mungunu, on 2nd of March 2022. The aim is to address issues of duplication of functions of most of the MDAs and to make them more effective and functional. The Speaker, while inaugurating the committee, assured that the idea was not to witch hunt, but rather to improve service delivery of the MDAs.
This committee is expected to come up with solutions to the apparent continuous conflict of functions and avoidable bickering among the established ministries, departments, and agencies, resulting in ineffectiveness, inefficiency, and redundancy in the government workforce. The committee is therefore expected to engage relevant stakeholders and members of the public with a view to resolving the areas of conflict among the MDAs, which may require amending some laws and/or outright repeal.
His position was supported by the chairman of the ad hoc committee, who highlighted some of the issues that affect the optimal performance of most government agencies.
I would like to appeal to the various ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government, as well as the general public, for your maximum cooperation and resourceful contribution towards more efficient, goal-driven, and productive government.
Sada Soli from Katsina gave a general overview of the proposed bill and how it will not only cut cost of governance, but also address clash of interests and interagency rivalry, which negates the principle of good governance.
So we observed all these challenges in these 1,484 MDAs, and we thought there is need to address this problem.
Heads of MDAs promised to cooperate with the committee by submitting memoranda to aid its work.
In addition to harmonizing what is in existence now, there should be a standing committee in the National Assembly that makes sure that any bill that comes before the National Assembly goes through scrutiny to make sure that that new bill does not conflict with any other existing law in the country.
It is hoped that the outcome of the investigation will assist the MDAs to perform efficiently without any encumbrances.
You're watching NewsHour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, the rich also cry. Stay with us.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels. Leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is NewsHour on Trust TV. A look at our top stories. Senate confirms 7 ministerial nominees sent to it by President Muhammadu Buhari. And abductors of Zamfara medical director demand 20 million naira ransom as bandits shoot victim in captivity. The Nigeria Union of Journalists says it will ensure that journalists in the state work according to journalistic best practices by adhering strictly to the Code of Ethics of Nigerian Journalists. Chairman Bauchi State Council Umar Saidu stated this at the Magistrates Court, where 2 journalists were accused of defamation of character after being detained by security operatives. Adamu Imam reports.
The Bauchi chapter of the union expressed dismay over the molestation and harassment of the journalists by security operatives in the state, noting that they will not tolerate a situation where politicians use security operatives to perpetrate acts of impunity against journalists.
We were able to secure their bail because the offense they are making allegation against is bailable. And, so we have secured their bail, and by God's grace, we have issued a statement on that, whereby we are urging the security agencies to desist from honoring unnecessary allegations and claims from politicians and other individuals just to harass journalists in the state. So we will not just sit down and watch such thing is happening.
Counsel to the defendant, Gambo Idris, who told Trust TV that the case is bailable, also commented on the stand of the court on the matter.
Section 211, the power of the AG to take over any criminal proceedings, which as defendant we actually cannot oppose, knowing fully well that that's the position of the law. their application was granted, and when they took over, they decided to apply that one of the offenses be struck out, because to them, from the first information report, they did not see anything suggesting that particular offense. That was done, and then the first information report was read to the accused persons, their plea was taken, and then they were admitted to bail.
Counsel to the plaintiff, who was present in court, declined comment. The presiding judge, Justice Abdul Fattah Sekoni, adjourned the case to 25th of July 2022 for hearing. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Excitement is in the air for intending pilgrims, especially first-timers from Kaduna State, who are participating in this year's Hajj exercise, with 1,589 pilgrims from the state's 2,491 expected pilgrims airlifted to Medina in Saudi Arabia. The fourth batch of pilgrims have expressed satisfaction with the coordination of Hajj activities in the state amidst their excitement in participating in the exercise. The report.
These intending pilgrims from Kaduna State are part of the fourth batch of the pilgrims to be airlifted from the Kaduna International Airport to Medina in Saudi Arabia for the 2022 Hajj exercise. With this year's lifting of suspension in Hajj activities after 2 years of global lockdown as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, some of the pilgrims, especially first-timers, could not hide their excitement, having waited 2 years to participate in the important spiritual activity.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. It's not by our power, it's not by our grace. Some people are here, they want to witness it, but they could not witness it. Maybe death or one or two things. So we thank God for giving us the life, the ability to witness today. So I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should accept our prayer. Being the first timer, we pray that if we go, it should not be our last time. In fact, I don't know how I'm going to show you. So the excitement is beyond what I can express.
It is an exciting opportunity for even old-timers who were elated at the chance of returning to the Holy Land after 2 years.
One will feel highly elated, excited, and you will feel on top of the world since the Hajj has been suspended for 2020 and 2021 due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, by Allah's will, it has been restored. So every single Muslim, whether you are going or not, you will feel excited. Talk more of those of us that have the opportunity of going. Sincerely speaking, I'm highly excited and elated to visit the Holy Land at this very time this year after the suspension of these 2 preceding years.
For a hitch-free Hajj exercise and to ensure all pilgrims perform optimally and in good health, the Kaduna State Medical Team has assured of adequate healthcare delivery for all pilgrims in the Holy Land.
In Saudi too, we know that we are communicating with people over there. They have able people over there, and we go and join them, and all the drugs, basic drugs required by the pilgrims will actually be available, and we're going to treat them as appropriate as we should. And every pilgrim that need any medical care, either in the clinic or in his hostel, there are measures established to give that individual optimal care that he could get anywhere around the world.
Lami Sadiq for Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Amira Safiano, a Twitter user who raised an alarm over an alleged kidnap, has pleaded guilty before a magistrate's court in Abuja. She was arraigned on Wednesday on the sole charge of misleading the police pursuant to Section 140 of the Penal Code. James Idachaba, police prosecutor, tendered a medical report indicating that Sufian was mentally ill when she gave the false information. Idachaba prayed the court to give the defendant a non-custodial sentence under Section 44 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. He also prayed that she should be placed under the supervision of the police counseling unit for a regular review of her mental state. Chinyere Moneme, defendant's counsel, did not oppose the submissions of the prosecution. In his judgment, Chukwemeka Nweke, presiding magistrate, ordered that the defendant should be released conditionally to a probation officer. Disability rights advocates have called for a more conducive and disability-friendly work environment to aid easy access to facilities by people living with disabilities. They made the call during a training on financial management, NGO governance, and organizational safeguarding for network of disabled persons. The report.
Statistics show that people with disabilities are more likely to experience extreme poverty in Nigeria than those without a disability. It was also revealed that structures have become more inaccessible to persons living with disabilities as they are not considered during construction or renovation of such facilities, with just a few public and private establishments considering the PLWD's accessibility. It is in light of these that the Network of Disabled Women with Support from Disability Rights Fund organized a training on financial management, NGO governance, and organization safeguarding for PLWDs.
The training is going to be an eye-opener for participants, and then hopefully these participants, we are believing that at the end of the training, participants would also go back with the latest idea in terms of safeguarding policies, safeguarding practices for persons with disability, and also make sure that their institutions or their organizations pick up these ideas that have been shared today and then build upon it, and then even go out and campaign with such ideas that will be shared here.
The organizers say achieving increased awareness will promote advancement and address challenges.
We try to do this by building up this capacity of communication, breaking the barriers of communications, like using the simple language.
Ibe Morin, a participant at the training who works at a public establishment, narrates her ordeal occasioned by the lack of access to facilities for PLWDs and called for a change to reduce the challenges PLWDs face daily.
It's been challenging because I remember even going to school, it's the presence of a person with disability that creates the opportunity to make facilities that pertain accessibility. Most workplaces you go to, you'll be carried, it's a little bit embarrassing that you start looking for help, people to assist you, go in. Just in few places that you go to and you find, a good access.
The aim of the training is to equip beneficiaries with basic knowledge in financial management and organizational safety to enable them become independent. Aisha Salihu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Women across the world on Tuesday, May 28, commemorated World Menstrual Hygiene Day, aimed at breaking the silence, raising awareness, and changing negative social norms surrounding menstrual health and hygiene practices. In Adamawa State, women groups have been organizing awareness and sensitization campaign to educate women and girls on the proper management of their menstrual cycle. Salis Lawan reports that the sensitization and awareness campaign, which began on the streets of Yola, the Adamawa State capital, terminated at Government Girls Secondary School, Yola. The report.
The theme of this year's World Menstrual Hygiene Day 2022 is to create a world where no woman or girl is held back because they menstruate by 2030. Beliefs around menstruation and menstrual practices in some parts of the country, like northern Nigeria, have made some adolescent girls to remain ignorant of the basic facts and hygienic practices involved in the management of their cycles. This lack of information sometimes leads to adverse health outcomes, But these students are poised to step down the knowledge acquired on menstrual hygiene even as they commend the organizers for the philanthropic gesture.
I feel so excited, I feel grateful because we ladies normally during menstruation, we feel not comfortable around people, and I'm not the only one. Most of the girls around the world do feel uncomfortable during menstruation because how they are treated. But with this great meeting here, they taught us how to be comfortable with ourselves whenever we are menstruating because it's our right. So I'm very grateful to all of them.
This program is important to me because it teaches me many things about menstruation. It teaches me the way I can use my parts, the way I can take care good care of myself.
We really appreciate our mothers. We thank them, and I learn how to use myself when I'm menstruation.
Stakeholders at the sensitization and awareness campaign are reassured of commitment to continue educating the girl child while advocating for more women participation and active involvement in decision making.
It is our desire that at the end of this program, we will create awareness about menstruation, provide safe and hygienic practices to the girls present, and eradicate persisting taboos and stigma, even in the 21st century.
We are just encouraging them to know that they matter a lot. Because you are menstruating doesn't mean that you'll be stigmatized, you'll be left behind, you'll be relegated at the bottom. So I encourage them to know that they are equally human beings in the society and they should keep their bodies clean during menstruation and even after.
They need to be enlightened and sensitized on their personal hygiene, on how to keep themselves safe when they are menstruating, when they start seeing their menstrual period. So that is why we go around the school during such kind of occasion to sensitize these girls on the importance of personal hygiene during menstruation and on how to keep themselves safe from falling prey of getting early pregnancy.
It is the belief of all stakeholders that menstrual hygiene shall be taught to every girl to enable them have a smooth and healthier menstruation cycle and by extension, adolescent life. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
Persistent hike in the price of bread since the beginning of this year has been having tremendous impact across the bread value chain. As a result of the hike, producers, sellers, and consumers have all been lamenting the toll the situation has taken on them. Dixon Adama reports that in Jos, Plateau State, producers are losing grip of the market as they threaten to go on strike. The report.
The Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria has blamed the consistent rise in the bread price to rise in the baking materials as well as cost of production. The association has equally threatened to withdraw their services if the federal government does not address the challenges facing their sector, as they cannot keep increasing the price of bread, which is the food for the common man.
Very soon, very much will strike because of the increment. Every day, the material they increase, flour might increase, everything they increase on the bread. That's why very much they increase the price.
In a communique after the National Executive Council meeting held at Abuja, it said the neglect of the federal government in addressing the challenges facing the sector is affecting productivity. They said the increase in prices of bakery materials, especially flour and sugar, have reached unprecedented level.
Presently, we are thinking of withdrawing our services very soon. I've been calling the attention of the federal government to the constant increase, continuous increase in the price of flour, prices of baking materials that we use. But up to this present moment, the government seems adamant about our plight.
Meanwhile, the hike in bread price has equally affected local roadside tea and bread sellers, popularly called Meshai. They said increase in the prices of bread has almost become a weekly occurrence, thereby giving them no choice than to also increase their own price, which is pushing customers away.
The sugar and milk has affected our business negatively because there are many people that used to come and find out that the price of bread has increased, and some of them will be able to buy while some will leave without even buying.
Adding that he hopes the government will do something urgently to change what is happening so that common man will continue to eat bread.
The harsh economic reality of Nigeria has continued to be a point of concern as the price of basic items and amenities continue to hike. More and more Nigerian pockets are under threat, and those feeling the heat are in those living under the poverty line. As it is, the economy is now threatening even those living in the cadre. Chamun Dabeng speaks to the Febuks, a family of 6, to find out how they cope with economic instability. The report.
Despite the favorable statistics emanating from government suggesting marginal growth in the economy over the last 4 quarters, the reality for many Nigerians is the opposite. The spiraling inflation, the rise in utility rates, the soaring prices of food seems to have caused a disalignment of the economy from the ordinary Nigerian. Government is quick to admit that the alleged improvement in the economy has not trickled down to the people. But when it makes this admission, the assumption is that this affects only the poorest people on the rungs of the ladder. However, those in the middle class, which was in the past associated with some level of comfort, are also complaining now. So does the middle class still exist, or have harsh economic conditions scaled down the number of those found in this category of people?
I don't think Nigeria has a middle class. I would say maybe a transitory middle class, because the middle class is so volatile. It can go up, come down. You easily find yourself in the lower class, and you can easily find yourself in the upper class, depending on what you do.
As the prices continue to hike, what are the things that were easily affordable in the past? Are they still there, or have they become a luxury?
Okay, well, in my area, the last time we bought gas, that's a 12 kg, it was about 8,000. Because we have like 2 of it, so I think by now it should be up to 10 or a little bit more than that. We got this to complement our gas, but we haven't been using it because of the hike in electricity tariff. It's totally out of use now. It just serves as my counter. I just put pots on it and all. We don't even use it anymore. That's 100.
How long does it last?
This, for 4 kids, I don't even take milk. We don't take milk. We, the adults, we don't take milk anymore. So that it will last for them. Like, if I am the one scooping the milk, if I don't send my elders to scoop it, it can stay up to 2 weeks. But if they do it themselves, maybe a week plus 4 days or so.
It is often said that the measure of a healthy economy can be ascertained by how many of its citizens live comfortably above the poverty line. In Nigeria, there has been a continuous erosion of the numbers of citizens in this class over the last few years.
It's been very challenging dealing with the economic situations, or handling bills, paying school fees, self-care. It's been very difficult, and I don't think that there's a family in Nigeria that isn't experiencing the much felt hardship of the economy. Even those who are rich would tell you that, I mean, if I used to buy, if I bought a Range Rover 2 years ago for 60 million, I probably would be buying it now for 90 million. So that's still a hit on those who have the money. You know, so I don't think it's been pleasant. My only hope is that we have a government that would be people-focused.
It is clear that despite government's promises to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, something is definitely wrong. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
One of Nigeria's leading conglomerates, Nestle Nigeria PLC, makers of popular brands such as Milo Gold Morn Cube seasoning, on Wednesday held its 53rd annual general meeting. The event, which took place at the company's corporate office in Lagos, among other things, fixed the remuneration of the directors. The report.
The company, in its financial reports for the year ended December 31st, 2020, revealed the revenue rose by 23% to 351.8 billion naira from 287 billion naira in 2020. According to the report, the company's profit for the year also rose 2% to 40 billion naira from 39.2 billion naira in the preceding year. Nestle also announced the final dividend of 25 naira 5 kobo per share. It had previously paid an interim dividend of 25 naira per share, giving a total of 50 naira 50 kobo per share for 2021. The company paid a total of 60 naira 50 kobo dividend per share for 2020. Speaking at the meeting, the chairman of the company, David Ifezulike, said Nigeria in 2021 experienced an unstoppable and volatile business environment occasioned by many factors, including worsening insecurity, deteriorating corruption perception, double-digit inflation, pressure on the naira, and the extension of the petroleum subsidy regime.
Nestle has been here for quite some time, and we always try to source a lot of our materials locally and to develop the farmers so they can give us the right quality. So that has helped us to be able to use a lot of local materials. We add a lot of value to them and produce these products that we love. What we need from outside, of course, we need forex to get it. But we make very good quality products which people like. We offer them in very good portions so that even the poor people can buy them, and it's consistently right. So people, the consumers are very excited and they keep buying our products despite the challenges we have now. And it's not been easy for us also, although we keep outperforming our competitors, and that is because of the quality of staff we have and the knowledge about the product offerings. So these are the things that help us to continue to do very well in the marketplace.
First of all, we capitalize on our global level to see how we can procure better and keeping always in mind what the consumer needs in Nigeria, affordability and accessibility as well.
In addition to the ordinary businesses undertaken by the shareholders at the event, they also carried out 3 special businesses, including the passage of 2 resolutions, one of which was a review of the Memorandum of Articles of the company.
Rescue workers are trying to reach 3 villages in Western Austria on Wednesday after landslides due to heavy rains cut off access. Spokeswoman for the Red Cross, Melanie Rita, says thunderstorms in the night from Tuesday to Wednesday led to streams in the mountainous Villach-Land district in Carinthia state bursting their banks, causing landslides of mud and debris. She said the army and firefighters are trying to clear the streets to be able to access the villages, adding that the number of people affected cannot be ascertained. There are no reports of casualties, but several houses have been damaged. Let's now join Adeniyi Ajishafe for sports news.
A total of 14 athletes consisting of 6 females and 8 males will represent Nigeria at the 2022 Commonwealth Fencing Championship to hold at the University of East London from 9th to 28th August 2022. The Commonwealth Fencing Championship is an event held in the Commonwealth of Nations first took place in 1974 and have been held in the same cycle as the Commonwealth Games over time. This edition, which comprises different fencing events and categories, will feature both male and female in the cadet, junior, senior, veteran categories, and wheelchair fencing, while all 3 weapons, namely foil, AP, and saber, will be featured. President, Nigerian Fencing Federation, Adeyinka Samuel, says athletes will feature in cadet and junior categories for both individual and teams event in the AP and foil category of the sport. The team, which will be participating in a total of 10 events out of 24 on the card, will have a 1-week training camp ahead of the competition in London to help them acclimatize and prepare ahead. And in football, the Italian Football Federation, FIGC, has approved changes to Serie A format from 2022-2023 season, where there could be a Scudetto playoff. Federation President Gabriel Gravina has been pushing the change, which has now been made format in a meeting at the Federal Council. If two teams finish level on point at the top of the table, then they will go into a playoff to decide who takes the Serie A title. There will be no extra time, so if they are level after 90 minutes, it goes straight to a penalty shootout. This is going to apply only to Serie A title, meaning that if teams are on the same point in the battle for a European place, that will still be decided by head-to-head record. This is the system that was used until a few years ago, when the head-to-head record became the deciding factor. The Scudetto was assigned by its playoff only once, when Bologna beat Inter Milan 2-0 in June 1964. Gravina says he is in favor of a move towards the Scudetto being assigned via a series of playoffs in the future to make the Federazione Italiana Gioco Calcio, FIGC, more exciting. That's Sport News. I am Adeni Ajishafe.
With that, we have come to the end of News Hour on Trust TV. For more news, connect with us across all our social media platforms. I am Ayinde Shuaga, thanking you for watching.